welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Scout Report. It's time to look ahead to our next opposition this time. It is Stevenage coming to the New York Stadium. We have Matt from the Stevenage FC podcast joining us. How are you doing, Matt?
Yeah, really good, mate. Thanks for having me on. It's a bit of a tasty one this weekend, isn't it, with the history? It's I'm looking forward to chatting about it and chatting about the season, mate. Yeah.
I love a good game with a few good subplots in there, and there's some good ones in this one. Let's go back to kind of April last year when the change of manager happened. Obviously, Steve Evans left you guys to come to us. It came as a surprise to us, and I get the feeling it came as a bit of a shock to you guys as well, because you had a great couple of years.
Yeah, wow, what a journey, eh? Do you know what? It's quite strange with us because, we'd had a good few years of, I say heartbreak, but we were down the bottom of League Two. And, I think we all kind of assumed that, unfortunately would end back in the National League because we were kind of knocking on that door for League Two football for a few years, technically got relegated and then got kept up by a reprieve with Macclesfield going out of business along with Bury. But Steve, he came in, kept us up, and wow, the rest was history. What a manager at the club. He earned us an automatic promotion, which you could see early on in that season that the group that he put together was a special group. And we had the memories that season, beat Villa in the Cup as well, and obviously went up to League One incredibly and had a solid season last season. So I think for us Stevenage supporters, we kind of knew that he wasn't going to be with us for a long time. And he'd kind of spoken about that openly, that really his kind of tenure at the club was probably only going to be about a 3-year tenure. So I think in the back of our minds, when we saw the news, we weren't surprised, but you're still shocked because obviously that era and journey came to an end, and it was such a great 2 to 3 years of an era, probably my best one that I've ever seen as a Stevenage Football Club fan. And yeah, we were glad to see him go. I think in the long run, we were probably somewhat happy about it. I think coming into this new era of Revell, I think we needed a brand new manager, and I think we were potentially only going one way under Steve, and unfortunately that was probably down with the things that happened in the second half of that season last season. So yeah, somewhat like a shock in terms of the journey we've had it come to an end, but I think in reality we weren't surprised by that kind of journey ending when it did.
No, I see it, and it seems like you had a ready-made replacement, something that a lot of clubs look at and kind of go, well, what next? And you guys kind of had Revell, who was manager before, learned a bit more of his trade under Steve Evans, and has stepped back into it, and he seems to have stepped back in quite nicely as well.
Yeah, it's quite crazy because you said it there. Alex Revell, he played for us. I kind of think Revs has done like every job at the club. He's played, he's been captain, he's been an academy coach. And yeah, he was manager back in the dark times when we didn't know what league we were going to be in. And it came to a time a couple of seasons later after COVID when everyone could go back to the games that job was probably just a bit too soon for him. Brand new manager, a lot of potential, but it was too soon. And later on in that season, Steve was appointed to keep us up. He brought Revs back as first team coach because obviously, Alex, you'll know very well with yourselves at Rotherham. It played under Steve, so there was that kind of connection there. And it's been really weird actually because, Revs had openly admitted that kind of Steve was his tutor, really, in terms of hopefully down the line giving it another crack. And it's really funny actually. Steve always said that Alex Revell would be the next manager of us, and he'd be the guy to take us on in a new era for the future at Stevenage Football Club. And we never really knew that was true or not. And it turned out to be the way. Revs came straight into the hot seat, and I couldn't think of a better appointment in terms of the longevity for us in League One and just the longevity in general. I think Alex is going to be a great manager. I think he's doing a brilliant job so far. And I think there's better longevity with Revs than Evans. And I think that's one thing that we're over the moon with. But yeah, he's doing a great job, Alex. He's put together a fantastic squad, and to see us 17 points in our biggest season and playing the way we're doing, it's he's doing great. And just get over that line of safety. Yeah, he's kind of warmed himself into the role.
Absolutely. Just talking about the pre-season expectation. Obviously, last year you flirted with the playoffs until the last couple of months. What was the kind of aim and expectation? This league's so competitive this year. What was it? Aim again for the same kind of fight? Just what was the kind of pre-season expectation?
I think, if I'm honest, I think coming into this season, knowing, well, really, a lot of people have said it, the toughest League One that there's ever been. I think coming into it, knowing it's Alex Revell's first season, back after obviously what happened in the past, I think for us at Stevenage Football Club, it's just been stay up, really. I think our goal has been, get over 50 points, become a League One side. I think that's kind of the goal for us at the minute, and offer a platform for the future in this division with Alex Revell as manager. So I think the goal for us is to stay up. The team, and knowing the players we've got, they think otherwise, and they want to be right up there competing for playoffs and promotion, and then going better this season and being right in that mould. And look, I think the start we've had in the season, I think we're actually showing that we can do better than be down there near the bottom, most definitely. So I think for us supporters, we'll sit here and keep saying the goals to stay up, stay in the league, become a sustainable League One team, and build life. But at the same time, I believe that they can get near that mid-table and maybe even potentially get into the top half. That'd be a great season for us, by the way. But yeah, I think in my mind, you're still looking at getting over that 50 points, staying up, keeping Revs in the job, and providing a platform for future seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. In the mid-table at the minute, you have some funny results because you beat Wrexham, beat Barnsley comfortably, went away to Mansfield and won, and then lost to Cambridge. I mean, that's classic League One, isn't it? It's just mad.
Honestly, and do you know what was mad about that last night was we never saw it coming. Do you know what's crazy? And you mentioned some games there. We had a tough run from Charlton, which was the end of September. We looked at the run of fixtures, and it was like, we've got Charlton, we've got Wrexham, we've got Peterborough, Bolton's been rescheduled for the game after yourselves, we've got Rotherham, we've got Mansfield, Cambridge. We looked at that run and went, well, we'll definitely beat Cambridge. so at least we've got a win there, right? And we've gone on and beaten Charlton, beaten Wrexham, beaten Mansfield, and then we've lost the game that everyone went, oh, great, we'll beat Cambridge. That's a given. Yeah, look, I think for us, I said it earlier, I'm over the moon with our start at 13, 17 points, 5 wins and 2 draws from the games. But for me, it's been the performances from the 12 matches we've played. We've had 10 really excellent performances there. And I think that's a big thing for us, playing well. We know that when we play well, the squad that we've got are capable of getting results. And I like good performances. They always eventually turn into good results. So for me, I've been over the moon with it. I think we found a style that works for us at home. Home form's excellent at the minute. I know obviously we lost last night, but originally the home form's been brilliant. We found a style at home that we can press with and be intense and kind of force teams to play the way that we want to play. And away from home, it's just taken us a little bit longer, although we've seen really good signs away from home. Again, excellent performances. And then finally, it's kind of like the penny dropped on Saturday away at Mansfield, where we were brilliant and won the game and could have won it by more. Maybe we've scored one of those other chances. But no, it's been a fantastic start. I think the only criticism I think we've had as a side is probably just not scored enough goals as we'd like. But we've missed 2/3 of the attack. We've had injuries. We've had big players missing. So I think once we get players fit and players back, we'll see an improvement with the goals and the output at the other end. But yeah, for the large majority, I think 17 points after 12 is brilliant for us. It kind of means we're nearly halfway to safety. So yeah, I'm over the moon with how we've started in this big season.
Absolutely. Just talk me through some players. Who are the guys that kind of should be watching out for that are going to cause us problems and stopping us having success on Saturday?
Yeah, sure. Well, Evans will know them all.
Yeah, exactly.
He signed them. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to have great homework on us. Although, I will say we are missing a lot of players for the game against. Honestly, I'm going to be honest here. We've been joking about this since last night. Originally, I'd sit here and go, Cole Pigiani, who is our captain. He's been He was the most dominant defender in League Two, and then he was one of the most dominant last season. He's been up there for the most dominant again this season in terms of the statistics. An incredible player. He's the linchpin to our team. He's captain. And I would be sitting here going, he's one to watch, especially from corners and set pieces. But he's suspended. And we're buggered because we are missing him, Dan Sweeney, Charlie Good, and Luther Wilding, who are all our starters at the back. So I do not have a clue what we're going to do against yourselves on Saturday in terms of our back line. We've barely got a back line against yourselves, so that's going to be fun. But there are some players that will play. Jordan Roberts is a really big player for us. He was one that Evans signed prior to our automatic promotion season. Gets the ball, gets you from A to B. He's a fantastic player, Jordan, physically fit, likes to get in on the goals as well at times. Jamie Reid, who, again, was a player that was already here actually when Evans came in, and Evans kind of got the best out of Reedy. Showed him a bit of a love affection, and Reedy started scoring all these goals for him, and was top goal scorer for a part of last season, and he's come into this season and had a medical condition and missed the first month of the season. So Reedy's been finding it difficult recently. He hasn't got a goal, but big player. We call him Big Goal Reedy. He's earned that nickname over the last couple of years. So big player to watch. And I'd say other players, we have got a couple of new players who are good players. Jake Young got off the mark at Mansfield, very good player. Got big aspirations to do well in League One, and last night he didn't have the greatest of games, but no one did. But very good player, a lot of pace off the shoulder, and a couple of midfield players in there. You got some good players like your Dan Kemps who are good technical players, and Dan Phillips is a fantastic footballer that we got in there from St Johnstone. So I would say probably those are the stick out players, but it's going to be difficult Saturday, Michael, with the players we got missing. But yeah, I'd say those ones.
Fair enough. And finally, let's go through the prediction. How do you think the game's going to play out? And what do you reckon as a score prediction, if you will?
Oh, my God. This is a tough one, isn't it, for us?
No.
Because it's, do you know what? Going into the game, knowing the suspensions, I've got to be honest, we're looking at the game on Saturday kind of going, it's a little bit like a friendly, right? Because we're like, look, with the amount of players we're missing at the back, I think we're looking at it going, and obviously missing Carl Piergiani, who's the linchpin to our side. I think we're sitting and going, look, it's a bit of a free hit for us Saturday. If we can play well or get a result in the game, that's unbelievable. And then Bolton Tuesday, we have all the players back for. But I think for us, we're just kind of thinking that it's going to be a really tough game for us to get anything from the game, I think, to be honest with you, considering who's missing. But anyone that knows me knows I'm the most positive Stevenage fan. So I think... Oh, I don't know. Oh, do you know what? Sorry, I'll go 1-0, and you've absolutely hammered us for the whole game. And Aaron Presley, who Steve Evans dropped last season and fell out with, will come and score the winner.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's been back recently and they had a big falling out. So you know what? Why football's a funny old game at times. Imagine Press scoring the winner. So yeah, sorry, I'll go for a 1-0 sneaky win.
Fair enough. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Even what you said about injuries, that wouldn't surprise me where Wales at the minute.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you very much, Matt. We'll put the link to the Stevenage FC podcast in our show notes. So please make sure to check those guys out. Thank you very much, Matt. As I say, make sure anybody who is watching, make sure you have subscribed and give this video a big thumbs up. We will see you all next time. And as always, up the Millers.